Here, welcome to Salzburg after the press conference about NATO membership of Austria. I'm here at the residence of the Bishop of Austria. It's also a conference center, a very beautiful one. And I was the EDS chairman in that years 96 to 98. And I was invited to the EDU Congress. This was after we joined the EU in 95. And Wolfgang Schüssel and Sauli Niinistö of Sweden and other party leaders of the conservative center right wing, they were here, and it was decided to join NATO. Austria to NATO, Finland to NATO, Sweden to NATO. That was the plan of the EDU and of me as EDS chairman of the students. It was not so powerful because at that time the students didn't get the prime ministership, like Schüssel then later put Mr. Sebastian Kurz to the prime ministership. Yeah? And he has been, now we know, corrupt and anti-NATO and pro-Russia. And this is unfortunately the reason as well, because many journalists talk to me and they ask me what is exactly the difference why Austria didn't join NATO now with Finland and Sweden. I will explain. Because Wolfgang Schüssel, who to this day is the mentor of Sebastian Kurz, of Thomas Schmidt, of Alexander Schallenberg, and of Nehammer, and all the key personalities in the Austrian foreign policy, is controlling the international politics in the key questions of Russia, Ukraine, and of course, Austrian NATO accession. And he is saying no to NATO. Why? Because basically he sold his soul to Russia after 2006 when he lost. He didn't want to do a lot of reforms. I told him already that years. I made a lot of press conferences that years as well. And he was not ready for many reforms which he should do after 2004. In 2006 he was unemployed then because the Austrian people voted against him. And he decided then to go to the Russia. Basically he was the Russian lobbyist from 2008 onwards. I don't know the exact years, but then he entered the service of Russia with Lukoil, with other lucrative contracts, with transforming, of course, the Austrian energy system into complete dependency towards Gazprom and so on. And if you look at the Schwarzenbergplatz in Vienna, one energy hub of the next in neutral Austria, ready to serve Russia from Rosneft, and they're all there, and it's not a coincidence. He never achieved international fame or notoriety for that, like Schröder, but he is the man who controls Austrian foreign policy via his grip on Nehammer, Kurz, Thomas Schmidt and all the others who are still, and you can see the proof when you look at the party congress recently when Nehammer was re-elected. He was the key speaker, was of course Wolfgang Schüssel, and he is still the president of the Forum for Foreign Policy and of a lot of NGOs in the international arena, and he is controlling Austria. And then he transformed the direction from a pro-NATO direction still in 98 to an anti-NATO direction from 2006 onwards, because he anyhow gave up. Bush was not popular, and then Trump, and so he felt it can easily get away with it. So he gave all his morals and principles up, and he got very rich with it, and because of Russian money. And he has a lot of assets now in Carinthia and in Lower Austria. It's all in the media. I'm not an insider to share any kind of private information. It's all public knowledge. I just sum you up why Austria has not joined NATO now, and why there is not even a big debate about it. Because Schüssel controls the ÖVP, the People's Party, and they say no. And then the Neos are afraid to be the first. And of course the Greens don't want to, whatever, when not even the ÖVP wants. Why should the Greens expose themselves to the political risk? And of course the nationalists are fully with Russia, the Kickel, and they are of course then on the other side anyhow, and they are opposed. And then all of them, and the Social Democrats, they are really very left-wing, and they were always the Russian instrument of power in Austria. And so the mess is complete, but the responsibility is with Wolfgang Schüssel and his turn to the east, because if the ÖVP would have stayed pro-NATO, and then of course in the moment of power now, they have the power, they have also, there's the Russian aggression, the same transformation of the political landscape could have happened, and it will happen by the way, as in Finland, but it was not, because no major party was ready for NATO, because of Wolfgang Schüssel turned to the east He got very rich with this, and he sold his soul. And I tell to Mr. Jorinda this, yeah, and I tell to Mr. Niinistö and to Mr. Tusk and all the heroes of the EPP, yeah, and also to Merz. You should all know that. It's the responsibility of Wolfgang Schüssel, and he must end his unholy grip on the People's Party once and for all in order to get out of it, clear his things legally, and tell the Austrian judicial system how much it got from Russia, and clear all these things. That will be a big mess in the future, I'm sure about it. But that's his thing. But he should not have any influence on the key decision makers in the Austrian People's Party, and that is the reason why Austria is not in NATO. And this must now be broken with the complete mess he made with Thomas Schmidt and Sebastian Kurz. Now it should be cleared up, and it will be a lot of crises still to come. And it should now be the moment where what was promised in '98 here to the bishop and in this residence in Salzburg should be implemented. NATO membership of Austria. I think I'm absolutely correct in that one. Thanks a lot for listening. More to come from Pax Europiana next time from Klagenfurt. Bye.